right now. Okay, hi you guys. Happy Tuesday. I'm so excited that you are here and joining us for this first official Diamond Dash training. So really quick, I'm just gonna mute everybody and then but we're gonna kind of have like a conversation. So feel free to unmute yourself. So basically today, this is the first, so this is a 3-week group. And the trainings as of right now are structured the same. So for the 3 weeks, it's gonna be like Mondays, back to back with National Wake Up Call, the TFTF, um, what's it called? Help me. Power Hour, and then the TFTF team call. So it's a lot. Mondays are a lot, so we don't want to add anything else to this group because it's already a lot. And then Tuesdays, we're going to do a training at noon just for 30 minutes like this one right now. And then Wednesdays, tomorrow is just going to be a very, very quick 5-minute activity to allow you guys to do the rest of your work. And it's just going to be an Instagram audit. So basically you take a screenshot of your Instagram and there'll be like steps that you'll follow. And basically you can see where you're clearly missing topics on your Instagram, or like maybe where you're oversharing like in fitness or entertainment or something that, and maybe you need to, it'll be very clear for you to see if you need to add in more coaching posts, things like that. Thursday, another training, I think, and then Friday and a shorter training too. So that's the schedule for the 3 weeks. So this group is really all about getting all of you to Diamond at the end of the 3 weeks, which is amazing. So you all qualified to be here. So congratulations, and let's dive in. So first of all, just so you guys know the agenda for right now, because we only have 30 minutes. So I want to start with like the big Q&A. And just go through like what you guys need help with so we can kind of like deep dive into that, because I know a lot of you guys have the same questions. A lot of us all do. By the way, if you don't know me, oh my God, my name's Lauren. Hi, sorry for introduce myself. I think you might all know me, but in case you don't, I'm on Nicole's team, and I am in 1-star quals and hoping to start 2-star diamond quals on Thursday. So super awesome, and this business has totally changed my life, and I just never thought I would be here doing something like this. So I think that just goes to show how important reaching out is, and not judging anybody first for thinking that maybe they wouldn't be interested. So the greatest segue into inviting is that I had a fashion blog for 4 years, 5 years, and I can't even imagine like Nicole, when she cold market invited me, must have been like definitely intimidated, because I would share like these pretty pictures of like me in outfits like every single day, twice a day on my Instagram. And she reached out to me and she said, hey, like, would you be interested in joining a fitness boot camp? And I was like, I don't even know you. Like, who are you? Like, what are you doing? Like, get away from me, like, no. And so, but then basically I started watching her. Okay. And the reason I'm starting with the story is to tell you that this is what happens to me all the time now, today, 2 years into the business. Okay. So you invite somebody, or maybe you give them some love on their feed, right? And then maybe you don't invite them quite yet. And then they start watching you, right? And then they start seeing what you're doing. They start realizing that, wow, you can have really great results and eat spaghetti and have a piece of toast or have a glass of wine. And that's not, it's just a full lifestyle, right? It's the whole picture. And then they eventually want to come on board. So it really is like all the no's that you've gotten, all the ghosts that you've gotten for over 6 months. Like, I had somebody join my group last week who literally never, ever responded to me for over 6 months. And then all of a sudden she's like, hey, I want to be in your test group for bod groups. And I'm like, where have you been? But like, that's the point, because people are watching. So with that segue, if Nicole hadn't been selfless enough to reach out to me, I wouldn't be here today. I would be stuck in a job I was miserable at. I wouldn't be able to be a mom. I'm pregnant, stay at home with her, because like it's just insane. So like, when we're thinking about inviting and we're having this conversation today, you guys, you need to flip the script in your head that inviting is scary and that you're literally giving somebody an opportunity. Like, think about, what if you found the next me, freaking qualifying for 2 stars potentially on Thursday because of a cold invite for someone you don't know. Okay. So like, let's get that out there and get all like the fear of that, have that all melt away. Okay, so cold market that said no, but we're building such a great connection and chat all the time. Exactly, right? So then it's like you're building your relationship, and then eventually you could say, hey, by the way, like, just wondering, like, I have this new boot camp for May, like, would you be interested? And then if she's like, no, be like, okay, I wasn't sure, but just thought I'd throw it out there. Because then, and then you can say, I totally get it. I'm looking for ladies who are really ready to commit to their results. And then she's like, well, fuck, I want to commit to my results, you know? So like, sorry, I'm not very good at not swearing. I need to be mindful because people have kids at home. Okay, I'm going to open this up if anyone has questions, or you can drop them in the chat, whatever is for you. And then, yeah, then we can kind of do some active work together. So you guys, so what's not working, or what are you getting hung up with inviting? And then we can also talk about discount coach versus customer too. If you guys want to like start with that to kind of get us going.
Do you mind talking about inviting to the business versus inviting as a coach or a discount coach or a customer?
Totally. That's a great question. So inviting to the business is definitely a little bit harder in general. And I think that conversation is almost easier when you are inviting somebody to join you, and then you're also like talking about the business and talking about, sorry, my husband just totally creeped on me over here. And talking about, you know, whether or not like this would be something that they would be interested in. So like I had a coach sign yesterday, and she's been a customer for 5 years of Beachbody, but like didn't even know about the discount code. And then I was like, oh, well, would you ever even be interested in learning about the coaching side of things? And she's like, yeah. So then like last night we had a one-on-one. Today we have a one-on-one. She has someone to sign up, and she's going to be on our Emerald call tonight. And like yesterday at this time, I didn't even know that she was interested in coaching. So it, you know, so while you're creating these conversations with these people and having these conversations, it's important just to ask and start the conversation and say, by the way, like, what do you do for work? You know, and then, because then when I said to her, you know, would you ever be interested in actually learning about the coaching opportunity? I almost realized like I had asked her too late. She'd already signed up under my husband. What if I needed her to be under me for something, or like needed to place her differently? You know, like I could have hosed myself. So it's actually more important to have that conversation early on. And so anyway, so that's like if you're already talking with somebody. I did try a test where I was sending out a message to people like cold market, being like, hey, like, you look fun, like, would you be interested in like doing what I do, like coaching wise? And they're like, I don't know anything about you. Like, there's no connection there was no personal connection. So personally for me, I've been finding that that's not as genuine and not working as well. So I would say with the people that who are already expressing interest, that's where I would spend your time asking them what they do for their work, how long they've been doing it, like, do they like it? Like, you know, finding things out about them specifically. And then, like, this girl said that she started a blog, but then she stopped. And then she was like also uncomfortable in how she was feeling and looking. And so she's always wanted a side business that was like, would provide income. And also now she gets to help people and feel better. So, you know, the point is you don't really know. I don't know, Christine, I don't know if that answers your question. So I guess for me, I would start with a normal conversation with somebody that you would already have, and then invite them to the business, maybe even before you would like talk to them about the discount coach. Because that way, then if they're like, no, I'm not interested in working the business, then you can say, okay, well, no big deal. Like, you can still reap the benefits of being a discount coach, or with our discount plan, you know, which is still, it's only $15.95 a month, which is seriously no big deal once you think about like the product and what you're getting and the value of that. So the book I've read that I know you have too is the Get Over Your Damn Self. And she says, invite to the business. If they say no, then invite to them as a customer. If they say no, then ask them for referrals. And it's kind of an interesting process because then there's 3 options instead of just like one, and then they say no. And then the other thing I was going to tell you guys too, in terms of inviting, So right now, like today is really heavily focused for me on reaching out to people and connecting with them. So like people I don't know. So like I'm pregnant, like I said, having a girl. So I'm searching like California girl moms, right? Like as an example. And then I'm going into that hashtag and finding people that look like maybe they would be like my friend, basically, like look like they would be someone like me, like maybe they like to go to Target or whatever. Like I'm looking at them, and these people, I love finding like micro bloggers who have like 1,000 people, right? Because then, or like 2,000 people, and then I go to their first photo, and on their first photo, then I like, and I go to all those people. So I start like this drill down of like finding, because they're like a community, and if I like that person, then I'm probably gonna like the people that are liking their photos. So then it creates this like this really great like rabbit hole of good people to connect with. But I'm not inviting them. You guys, like today I've only invited for my stories today and new followers. Like I only invite them tomorrow when they come to my page because they've seen me on their page. They've seen me giving love. They've seen me commenting and liking. I'm not even following them, but I'm showing them love. And then literally tomorrow they will be on my stories. And then tomorrow morning, the first thing I do in the morning is invite from my stories. So then I go through and I say, hi, thank you so much for watching my stories. I really appreciate it. I love your page. I'm looking for ladies to join my May 11th boot camp. Like, would you be interested in learning more about it? So like, I didn't make them come to my profile. I didn't make them watch my stories. Like that's on them. And I think that takes a lot of like the stress and worry away when a lot of people don't want to do like these cold market reach outs, but when they're on your page, then it's like you welcome them into your house and then you ask them if they wanted a drink, right? It kind of goes hand in hand. Like they came to you and then you can offer something to them. So just that's, if you're not sure how to find people to invite, that's what I would suggest, is creating that community with them and then having them come over.
Can I step in here for a second?
Yes, please.
Okay. So I wanted to just mention, like, this is why it's so important that you're not only talking about fitness, but also talking about coaching in your stories, so that people know what you do and they know that they could join you if they wanted to. So if you're not talking about, this call right now, if you're not talking about what we did last night, if you're not talking about, kind of what you're working on as far as your boot camps going, like, then people don't know that this is something that they can do. So it's really important, first of all, that you're just constantly talking about coaching, just kind of sprinkling it in every day and sharing it in different ways. Like, oh my gosh, look at this client I helped. She lost 5 pounds this week. Amazing. So happy for her. Look at this new customer I just signed up. People want to know that you're having success, and that just like keeps planting the seed for them over and over and over and over. And then I'm going to talk to Lauren about this too, but when you do get somebody interested, when you sign them up, I always say, okay, I'm going to send you, this package that we talked about. I always offer the coach package and say, just so you know, it's the same price to sign up as a coach. You get the discount of 25% off, and then you have the opportunity to earn money if any of your friends decide to join you, which is really awesome. Have you ever thought about coaching? And just kind of throw it out there like that. And then it's very no pressure. It's very like everybody does it. And if you want to do it too, you can. And so that's how I present it. And a lot of times I'll get people that say, actually, I did think about coaching, or no, oh my gosh, I could never do coaching. And either way, it's no pressure. You gave them the package that they wanted and you threw it out there, and shoot, if they change their mind later, great. If they're ready to go now, awesome. But Lauren, how do you have that conversation? I know we kind of handle it the same way, but your process is a little bit different than mine. So when you send a card out, when do you get to that discussion about whether it's a coach card or not?
So there are 2 strategies here. I used to just send the card as a coach discount no matter what, and then explain. So Nicole does that now. And then like if there's pushback, there's pushback. Now recently, like literally in the last like 4 weeks, And also, you guys, like, I'm at SE44 right now. So, like, I'm not saying, like, go me, but, like, there's been a lot of success, right? So, for me, I've been saying something that, and I can write this in the chat if that's helpful, Nicole. But I've been saying I have the option of selecting a discount coach or a regular customer for you at checkout. This is basically a chance for you to get 25% off all future orders, including supplements, clothing, new product launches, etc. It's totally free for the first 30 days. So if you wanted to try a few products, I'd recommend doing the discount option. And then if you want to cancel, you can. At 30 days, you're charged $15.95 to keep the discount. If you end up loving the protein and want to keep ordering, then you save $20 per bag after the $59 per month. So it's totally worth it. So it's like, who's going to say no to that? Because I'm giving them the out.
So for me, that's way too much information. And if I was a customer, I would say no. Like, no, too much information was the easiest option out. So the way I present it is speaking to my personality. So you just have to kind of decide that for yourself. Like, are you somebody that wants a lot of details? You want to know all the things like Lauren does? Or are you like me, like, please don't overwhelm me. I just want to sign up. I trust you. Let's go. So
Right.
you have to, like, you can play with it too. Do Lauren's way, see how it goes. Do a different way, see how it goes. I mean, there's no like perfect answer.
And that is so.
You mind like copying, pasting that if you have it somewhere in the chat.
Yes,
Then
in our
these
chat.
ladies can kind of like create their own.
Yeah. And I would, just to echo that, you guys, like, what I do, like, people are attracted to me because of me. People are attracted to Nicole because of Nicole, right? So, like, whatever the energy she's putting out on her stories, the people that she's attracting, like, there's no wonder that there's, like, similar people on her team, right? And that's the same thing. Like, you literally attract your people. And so for me, when I signed up with Nicole, I said, well, after I decided that I was going to, okay, wow, that's nice. And then I signed up as a customer. Wow, Nicole, I'm so sorry. I love you so much. Thank you for not giving up on me. But I was like, no, just a customer, because I had been in 2 different MLMs and they were horrible. It was awful. Like, it just didn't click, you know? And then I was like, absolutely no on the discount. And then, but before I even signed up, I was like, I need 24 hours to do all the research possible. And like, I remember, like, I asked all these people if they heard of Beachbody because I'd never heard of it. Like, I went online, I did all this research. So like, that's me, right? Because I want to know the nitty gritty. Whereas I know it was a big pain in the ass, but now here I am. But so, you know, it just depends. Angie, how long do you wait to follow up after being ghosted for an invite in our share a cart follow-up? Okay, share a cart is different because that's somebody that already committed. Like, I'm not sending them a cart unless they said yes. So like, literally perfect example. I have a cart out under my husband right now. And yesterday, with all the delays, which was really fun on Share a Cart, I couldn't get her cart. And so I sent her an email midday and I said, I just wanted to let you know what's going on my end. And then I sent her the cart eventually. And then I saw that she hadn't even viewed it last night. So then this morning I sent her an update and I said, hi, an email. And I just said, hey, like, just checking in to make sure that you received it with all the glitches yesterday, you know, or you could even say something like, you know, just wanted to check in to make sure that you received the link. Sometimes the system can be glitchy. Like, just make something up. Like, it's not like that's, you know, you're not like lying, you know, you're just saying like, sometimes it's glitchy. Sometimes it's like, we know that, you know? So yeah. And then after being ghosted, like that girl, I can't remember her name, but she, the one that ghosted me over and over and over again, like literally I started messaging her in August, no response. And now we're in April. So every single month I sent her a message. And the reason why is because she was still on my stories. So and I told you guys, that's where I start with invite from my stories, first thing. And then you're like, well, I only have 60 people watching my stories and I've invited them all. Okay, well, that's when you go find the new people to invite by connecting and finding the Texas moms or the California moms or whatever, and then connecting with them, and then they come to your story, and then you have new people to invite. So once you like stop, like, it's not as complicated as you think, but it sounds so complicated when you're like, I don't know how to find these people. You know, but you just got to niche down on you. Like, who are you, you know? So I would just do once a month.
Yeah, I would say after I send a cart out to somebody, I will follow up with them the next day and just say, hey, just want to make sure you saw that cart and make sure there weren't any issues. Let me know if so, or something like that. And then one more time, like within that week. So I would say I follow up twice after a cart. And if I'm ghosted, then the next month I will reach out to them again, just like Lauren said. As long as they're still watching my stories, I invite every single person that watches my stories once a month, regardless of whether they've responded or not. If they're watching my stories, they're interested, is how you have to think of that.
Mm-hmm.
They're in your store. Like, they're obviously interested if they keep coming into your store. They keep coming into your store. They're looking around. They're interested. Maybe they don't have the money right now. Maybe they're just, they have questions. Maybe they're just not sure if this is the right fit for them, so you just have to keep inviting them. And yeah, gosh, especially if you sent a cart, you could say, hey, was there something that was in the email or in the cart that was confusing? I don't want to leave any questions on the table. Just kind of like call them out. Like, was there something that was confusing? Was there something that didn't make sense to you? However you want to word it. But usually they respond then, because if they ghost you, there's usually something that surprised them, I would say.
Totally. And then we want to like squash that and like nip it in the bud. So if they're not checking out with their cart, something's wrong. Like something happened, they got turned off. So, and oftentimes I'll say to them, like if someone was like, I think I'm just not going to do it, I'll say to them, I'll literally be so honest and say, okay, what literally, was it something that I said or the way that I said it? And then they're like, oh shit, like, no, like it wasn't you. I just like talked to my husband and he freaked out, like whatever, right? So like sometimes it's really nice because then you're like, okay, it wasn't me, move on. And that's the thing, you guys, too. There have been so many months in this business where I am like checking the cart. Did they check out? Did they check out? Did they check out? It's like, you guys, stop wasting your time and go find new people to invite. Like literally, like put your freaking phone down and go invite more people on Instagram. Put the cart down. Like that's not what this is about. Like we're helping people. If they're gonna not check out, they're not gonna check out. And like I get it. It's like end of the month, but like this is where you start connections for next month. Like hopefully you're all at SC6 so that like right now you're inviting to May. Like you have to forward think all of this, and just new people. Yeah, I know. It's like, don't refresh, girlfriend. Just go find some more people to invite. But I feel you, because especially when you're like, I have to get that, we all feel that way. Okay, and then, oh, good. Another question. Kim, I've also found success in sending a voice message follow-up. If they can hear the sincerity in your voice and your compassion and fire, they can put a voice to your face in messages and they'll hear you versus only reading your words. Words can sometimes come across pushy, whereas I can say that same thing with my voice and it takes totally a different vibe. 100%. I do that all the time. Like, especially if somebody is interested and then maybe they don't respond for a couple days. And then I will literally sit there on my phone and be like, hi, Nicole, like, I just wanted to follow up with you. Like, I know that we were talking the other day and I just wanted to make sure I could answer any questions for you. Like, do you have any concerns or like, what's your biggest hang up about joining the May 11th group? And they're like, oh my gosh, like, thank you so much for your message. I don't know. Like, I don't know if I'm ready to commit or whatever. Right. But like, then you get that personal touch with them. And I think people really like that. Oh, wow. Kim had a cold market cart checkout today because of the voice. Yeah, that's awesome. Really good. Okay, so you guys, we have 6 minutes. What else? What questions do you have? What's happening when you're inviting that's you're getting hangups on, you're not finding the right people, you don't know how to close, you don't have how to seal the deal with the conversation. Like, is that something that's happening? Like, you don't know how to get them to that point? Anyone?
I wanted to mention this because I've been seeing a lot of cancellations from coaches like after their first week or after their second week. So there's something wrong with how you're presenting it if that's happening. So either you're like encouraging that they cancel after they sign up, or you're not presenting the benefits properly. So just be careful to reword that if that's happening to you, and make sure that they understand the benefits, and that after a month of trying the product, they should decide whether or not to keep the discount. It shouldn't be after a week, especially if they don't even have their product yet. So
Yeah.
like I said, if that's happening to you, rethink how you're presenting the coach opportunity or the discount.
I love that. Yeah. And that's kind of, and I put that in the chat, and obviously mine's wordy, and I do say in there, I do give them an out. Like, yes, if you're not satisfied within 30 days, like you don't have to keep the discount, but most people are getting the results. And so then they're happy, and so then they want to keep it up because it feels good to feel good. Two things really quick. Number one, Katie Mercer once said that really stuck with me. If they're signing up for like BAR, which is 8 weeks, then you can pose the coach discount to them this way. I'm so excited that you're interested in BAR. It's the 8-week program. It's going to be amazing. I'm going to go ahead and create your cart, and let me just tell you a little bit about the options. So on my end, I can check you as a customer or as a discount coach. But since you are ready to commit for this for 8 solid weeks, let's go ahead and do the discount coach option, because then you get your second month of products free, or the huge 25% discount. Everything's free. So, oh, sorry, baby. So, you have to think about how, and when she told me that, I was like, oh my God, like, where have you been? Like, why didn't I know that? And think about that, so smart. Nicole, are you going to say something? No. Okay. Okay. So, and I love that idea. It's harder with 21 Day Fix, but then you could say, like, if they have a wedding coming up, like, this is a long-term thing. Like, so let's get you on this so you can at least give it your best shot for a couple months. Okay, I've been getting people responding back, but it seems they're not interested. I'm not sure how to follow up after that. Okay, this happens to me, I don't know, like 50 times a day. So, like, I'm great at answering this question. Basically, you just have to say, like, okay, no worries. Like, well, first of all, like, are you having the conversation? So, like, if I just send a message from my stories and I say, like, today, I'm reaching out because I have a new boot camp starting. Like, would you be interested in learning more about it? It's on a totally new app, and I'm so excited about it, blah, blah, blah. And if they're like, no, but thank you, I'm not interested. Then sometimes I'll say, okay, no worries, like, thanks for letting me know. Or I'll say, oh, okay, great. Like, do you already have a fitness routine going? And then they're like, well, I used to do Orange Theory, but da-da-da-da. But then you can, like, start the conversation, the relationship with them. Because then I had someone, Carla, who joined, I don't know, this month. She was doing Tone It Up and loved it and was not interested in my boot camps multiple months in a row. And then finally she came back and she was like, okay, like, it's not working for me anymore. Can I join you? So, but you need to think about these people, like, just because they're not interested, don't just check them off a list, right? Like, they're not interested right now, not the second, but you don't know nobody knew that we were all going to be home for 8 freaking weeks, right? Like, so, like, all these, like, you don't know what life's happening for people, like, ups and downs, everything's canceled, whatever, right? So they could want this now more than ever, or next month if they said no today. Okay, you guys, we have 2 minutes left, so please, please, please put some questions in the chat so we can go through them really quick if you have them and you're haven't posted them yet. But before the end of the day today, you guys, if you could please keep track for today of how many people that you have invited, or even, like, followed up with, and then write it in the chat by the end of the day before you go to bed. There's no set number here, but this is just for you guys to, like, keep yourself accountable. And if you're doing the tracker like me, which you all should be because this is life, like, invite at least 5 people to join a challenge group. I mean, that's like at least like 25. Like, if you want to grow your business, if we're going to get to diamond in 3 weeks, that's not 5 people. Okay. People that are in free groups, not ours, do we check in the next month? Wait, not your free group?
Like, I messaged somebody yesterday that was in, or I messaged somebody like a couple weeks ago, and she responded today that she was in another free group with, like, another coach, another team.
Oh.
So how does that work?
That's not that promising. If she's already, like, involved with somebody else, then I would just say, Oh, okay, great. I mean, personally, I would say I just want to make sure that you're taken care of. So are you planning on signing up with that coach? Because obviously she's invested in that coach. Like she joined their group. Like, that's weird. I mean, like, sorry, not to like be like check her off, but you know what I'm saying. Do you message accounts that are set to private? So like, yes, in general, I have, but recently what's been working for me is, okay, I message accounts if they're private, if they've come to my page all day long, because they came to me. But I have trouble messaging a cold market if they're private. I used to do that, like on big bloggers pages. I just go through and like invited cold market, cold market, cold market, cold market. But then the return wasn't really there because I had nothing in common with them. They didn't know me, whatever. So like it's really hard to connect with those people. So if they have a really cute profile picture, like I might follow them just so I can see if they'll get back on my page. But mostly I'm just not wasting my time with those people, unfortunately. Okay, I have ladies that watch my stories, but their accounts are private. Do you follow up with them? Oh, 100%, Beth. 100%. Because they came to you, they're on your page. You know, maybe they found you through a hashtag, maybe they found you through whatever. But make sure that you message those people. Okay. Or I have girls that are doing Beachbody but are asking me for advice. They have a coach, but their coach is very active. What is the protocol? Yeah, Anastasia, I can see you nodding. Okay, so you're like, yes, girl, I have that question too. Okay, so basically the protocol for a situation like this is I always give another coach. This is our family, you guys. Beachbody's our family. We bleed blue, okay? Try saying that fast. Like you have to stick up for a coach first. What if that was my person? I'd be like, that's rude, you know? You have to stick up for other coach and you say, oh my gosh, I'm so glad that you're doing the workouts. Are you loving them? And then I say, do you have a relationship with your coach? Simple as that. And then they'll say, no, I just signed up online. Okay, so then you can say, well, would you like to be a part of my group? And then you can submit the form and have them get switched. Or if they say, well, she used to coach and used to run groups, but that was 3 years ago and now she doesn't. And then you can say, oh, okay, well, like if you're comfortable, I would love to have you join me. And then that's not really intimidating because, you know, you're not taking somebody away if somebody's literally not coaching.
I would say if somebody's asking for your advice, but they do have a coach, tell them to go ask their coach. Like shove them back at their coach. I get so many people who engage in my stories and want to know more about my meal plans or they have so many questions for me. And I just I'm not trying to shut you down and I'm not trying to be rude, but if you've got a coach, just go ask your coach. And some of them keep asking me questions and I know their coach personally. And I just wow. Sorry about it. Like go ask your coach. If they don't know their coach, then those conversations can happen. But if they know their coach, go ask your coach.
Do not waste your time with anybody that has another active coach like that. That is not moving your business forward in the least. Katie also said, if someone says they're not interested, I will say, okay, totally understand. If it is okay, I will check back in the next month and see if there's a better time or fit. Yeah, so you can give them the heads up, like, hey, I know you're not interested right now, but totally fine. I'll check back in with you next week or next month if that's okay, because I do something fun every month. You know, you can give them the heads up, which is nice.
And at that point, if they're like, no, I'm not interested, I'm never going to be interested, don't talk to me, then please don't. Please leave them alone because those people are out there and you don't want to look silly and that's just a waste of your time. So, you know, if they're going to be rude, don't waste your breath, just move on. There's a lot of more people out there that are interested. And I was going to say on the cold market private messaging, personally, I will invite to a free group, and I have had success with that this past couple months. So if you have a free group going and you're reaching out to cold market on a private account, throw it out there like, hey girl, with all that's going on right now. I'm putting together this group that's full of, you know, good vibes, nutrition, and free workouts. If you're interested, let me know, and just kind of throw it out there. That's worked well for me. I've had a lot of people come to my page and check out my page after that, and it kind of opens the door.
It's not going to hurt. You just don't get a first look at them, but it's not going to hurt.
Yeah. And I judge it based on their profile picture. Like, do they look like maybe they're a mom with 2 kids like me? You know, those are the people that I'm reaching out to and sending a cold message to, not every person out there. So
totally
I wanted to share what I do.
Yeah, no, that's great. Okay, Anastasia said, I've got a girl I message back and forth with who says she would feel bad leaving her coach, but isn't getting the accountability she needs. So this happened to me last week. Actually, one of my old coworkers that still works with Austin, named Vanessa, she used to be a Beachbody coach and then was with Beachbody with another coach for the last couple of years. And it's been somebody that she knows them personally. Like, this girl is like a relative or like a friend's relative or something, where she has this deep connection with them. And so she was like, I feel really bad. Like, I don't want to leave. And I said, it's up to you. I said, you know, I'm here if you want to join my stuff, because that person wasn't really coaching. But I said, this is all on you. I said, that's your personal relationship. That's your deal. And then this weekend she was like, okay, I just did it. Just submitted you. I'm like, what? Like, okay. You know, so really just, you have to put it on them. You cannot force them at all. Totally. Yeah.
Yeah, I literally had somebody on our team reach out to me recently, and she's like, hey, so-and-so, you know, reached out to me. She's interested in doing this program. I thought she was signed up before. Do you know who her coach is? And I was like, yeah, it's me, actually. And, you know, she signed up 2 years ago with me. She's gone through a lot of stuff. I've checked in on her here and there. But you guys, I'm working with hundreds of people. Like, if they're not actively, like, participating in the pages that I'm offering, like, I'm not going to keep bugging them. So, you know, you have to kind of put yourself in the coach's shoes. Like, okay, maybe the coach is busy. Maybe the coach doesn't understand the situation. Maybe she hasn't reached out to her coach. You have to kind of play through that, because not everyone is new. Like, you guys are like working with every single person that you have one-on-one. Like, my business has evolved a lot, and as much as I would love to work with every single person and check on them every single day, that's just not possible. And be on calls like this and work with, you know, and have kids and all of that. So yeah, just encourage them to reach out to their coach. And if they're, you know, even ask the question, like, does your coach run boot camps? You know, you can like ask some prompting questions to kind of try to dig a little bit deeper, but don't always assume that their coach is a piece of crap, because that might not be the case.
Yeah. And then I was going to say one more thing, then we can close out, but blanking what that was. But yeah, I mean, like Angie said, the effort goes both ways, but you know, if they have to make that decision. And I know, I was going to say BOD groups is the perfect time to reconnect with people that maybe have been not around, or maybe are in your big community right now, but not participating, you know. And so if you're going to run a new BOD group, which I hope you all are, you could even require like a new purchase to come into the group. And that's a really nice way to get people re-engaged, recommitted. And it's, you know, you have to start thinking about this as your business. It's not selfish of you to require that if someone hasn't purchased in 6 months, 8 months, because this is our business, you guys. Nicole?
Yeah, I had one more thought way back earlier in the call. I think it was Christine who asked, like, inviting to the business versus inviting to challenge groups. Most of the time I'm inviting to challenge groups, but if I come across somebody that is clearly into fitness, I might just like say, hey, I think you'd be an amazing coach. Have you ever thought about doing what I do? And so don't be afraid to do that. And I would say, like, try to do like 5 of those a week. You know, if you're connecting, if you're reaching out to a lot of people, you're going to come across people, you know, like runners. And honestly, if I see a marathon runner, I just send it to Kim. I say, hey, Kim, look, found another girl for you. And she like goes and messages them and connects with them. And that's great. That's not my people. I am not going to connect with very many marathon runners. I'm not a marathon runner, you know, not my thing. But if I see somebody who's sharing their workouts and clearly working out at home, but I can tell they're not really doing Beachbody, I'll, just inquire, like, what do you do for workouts? Oh, you do your own thing? That's awesome. Have you ever thought about being a coach or like helping others with their fitness? And just, just say it and just throw it out. So
I did that today. Actually, that's a great reminder. Like today, somebody recently followed me since last night, and then I saw that they were like on a Zoom workout thing, but I was like, there was no Beachbody on their page whatsoever. So I was like, hey, looks like you have a great fitness routine going. Like, what do you do for fitness? And like that, I didn't ask them straight up about coaching right away, but like I'm interested to see what she has to say, because if she's posting about it already, that's very natural for her. So we'll see. Okay, any last questions, you guys? I'm so thankful for you guys who are on here. And don't forget to let us know how many invites or connections or follow-ups you did by the end of day today. It's really important to track that stuff, especially if you guys are going to hit Diamond in 3 weeks. So pretty exciting.
Or less.
Thank you guys.
Or less.
Or less. Katie.
I got big goals over here.
Oh, geez, girl, you go. Okay, guys, I'm going to end the meeting for everybody, and I'll post the recording in our little thread. And please ask follow-up questions. I'm here for you guys, okay? And we all are. So thanks so much, guys, and talk to you later.
Thank you.
Bye.